This flag, which we honor and under which we serve, is an emblem of our unity, our power, our thoughts, and our purpose as a nation. In the early 1940s, as the United States, along with the other allied nations of the world, were drawn into the Second World War on two different fronts, it hung in recruiting offices all over our nation, and men and women from all walks of life flocked to it. Regardless of which branch of the service they joined, each and every one of them took an oath to protect and defend it against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. And at that time, they signed a check, a blank check. It was made out to you, each and every one of you, the citizens of the United States of America, in the amount of my life. If this flag could talk, it would tell you that it has seen that check cashed more times than it cares to remember. It has seen the incoming tides in both the Atlantic and the Pacific run red with the blood of our fallen youth. If you're able to read, your thanks and your gratitude by all means should go to your teachers. But if you can read English, you might want to consider thanking a veteran, for you do not salute the ancestry of the Third Reich, nor do you bow to the rising sun. Many gave up all of their tomorrows that we could have ours here today. 31 words. We all learned them as small children. You've all memorized them. You said them in school every day. The question is, how does this piece of cloth come to hold such power? The answer is, the sun never shined on anything more beautiful or of greater worth. It is truly the symbol of our freedom. And again, if it can speak, it would tell you a great deal of its history. It would tell you that I was conceived in the dreams of liberty and the hopes of freedom, designed and made by the hands of Betsy Ross, and her sewing basket became my cradle. Although I was never an orphan, I was adopted by the Continental Congress in 1777, and it's been with a tremendous amount of both pride and pleasure that I became the national emblem of a newly born nation on this continent, desperately fighting for survival and destined to bring to all of its people a new concept of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In one form or another, I have been many places and seen a great deal of our American history. I saw the signal that started the midnight ride of Paul Revere, and I heard John Paul Jones state when he was asked to surrender, "I have not yet begun to fight." I saw Molly Pritchard take a cannon swab from her dead husband's hands and carry on the fight for freedom. I rode with Ethan Allen and the Green Mountain Boys, and I was there when George Washington became Commander-in-Chief. I felt the biting cold at Valley Forge and brought comfort to the tired and hungry troops of the Continental Army. I was waved from the mast of old Ironsides and above the decks on the Yankee and China Clippers, and I was there in the twilight at Fort McHenry. It inspired Francis Scott Key to write the Star-Spangled Banner, which was to become our national anthem. I blazed the trail west with Davy Crockett, Daniel Boone, Lewis and Clark, and I was carried through the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. I charged up the slopes of San Juan Hill with Teddy Roosevelt and his Rough Riders, and I stayed with the boys in World War I till it was over there. I was with them in the battlefields of France and saw many of the youth and manhood of our nation fall in silent in death. They had given their last full measure of devotion, and the war was over for them forever. But I have kept a lonely watch over their graves and stayed to watch the poppies grow, row on row between the crosses in Flanders Field. I was at Pearl Harbor, Berlin, the Battle of the Bulge, the Ardennes, and on the beaches at Anzio, Guam, Guadalcanal, Peleliu, the Philippines, Salomon, the Philippines. Running out of wind.
Want a drink?
I'm good. I was at the Battle of Iwo Jima, and I was on the French coast of Normandy on D-Day. As the landing craft approached the beaches, I heard the squad leaders calling out to their troops, 30 seconds to the beach. May your God be with you. And when those ramps came down, they came face to face with a gauntlet of barbed wire, landmines, artillery, and mortar shells dropping everywhere. The German zipper ripped and the bullets fell like raindrops. No amount of medical training could have possibly prepared these young medics for the carnage that awaited them on the beaches. Thousands met the supreme architect of their universe that morning without ever knowing the outcome of this war they had been drawn into or the importance of the sacrifice they had just made. Many of these young men had seen their last morning sunrise, and they were never to become grandfathers. And I sank beneath the waves with 4 heroic chaplains who gave up their life vests and went down with their ship to honor and glory. I waved gloriously above the decks on the battleship Missouri in Tokyo Bay on that victorious day, September 2nd, 1945. And I flew proudly over our troops as they fought at the Chosin Reservoir in the frozen mountains of Korea, the steaming jungles of Southeast Asia, where we fought an elusive enemy in an unforgiving terrain. I was at the World Trade Center in New York City, the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and a lonely field in Pennsylvania on that fateful day, 9/11/2001. I have been to Bosnia, Somalia, Iraq, Afghanistan. I am many things to many people. I am the inseparable link in the chain that binds the people of our country. Because I am the symbol of our great country, our enemies would choose to destroy me, but they dare not. I am protected by the mighty land armies of our nation, the powerful and deadly fleet of our Navy, the flying fortresses and screaming eagles of our Air Force, watching and waiting to swoop down on and destroy anything that might harm me. Throughout our short history, whenever danger threatens, millions of Americans have left their homes and families to defend me and the nation for which I stand. Many hundreds of thousands never to return, and yet they are wrapped forever within my folds. Their purity is remembered in my stripes of white. Their blood has given me my stripes of red, and their courage embedded in my blue. And their souls are safely cradled within my stars, where I will watch over them forever, for we are truly one nation under whatever God you choose to believe in. I drape the caskets of our nation's heroes, born to their final resting place, the caskets of presidents, generals, admirals, and humble privates. I proudly guard the tomb of the unknown soldier, and it is I who feel their tears when I'm placed in the trembling arms of a grieving parent at the grave of their son or daughter who has made the ultimate sacrifice for your freedom. Wherever free men gather, wherever there is justice, equality, faith, hope, charity, truth, and brotherly love, there too I am, a symbol of liberty, the light of humanity, an emblem of man's faith, a beacon shining in the darkness. May the pages of history never write my obituary, for I am the stars and stripes forever. I am Old Glory. A toast to the colors our brother Pete so faithfully served. Here's to the red of it. There's not a thread of it, no more a shred of it, and all of the spread of it, from the foot to the head of it. Heroes have bled for it, base steel and lead for it, precious blood shed for it, bathing it red. Here's to the white of it, thrilled by the sight of it. Who knows the right of it, but feels the might of it. Through day and night, womanhood cared for it, made manhood dare for it, purity's prayer for it, keeps it so white. Here's to the blue of it, beauteous view of it, heavenly hue of it, star-spangled dew of it, constant and true. Diadems gleam for it, states stand supreme for it, liberty's beam for it, brightens the blue. Here's to the whole of it, stars, stripes, and pole of it, body and soul of it, oh, and the roll of it, sun shining through, hearts in accord for it, swear by the sword for it, thanking the Lord for it, red, white, and blue. The flag of the United States of America does not fly by the wind that blows by it. It flies on the very last breath of every member of our military, law enforcement, firemen who have died protecting it. Thank you.
I can't think of a better message on the 4th of July in a memoriam for Pete that Lee gave. That was truly amazing. Can we have another round of applause for that? That's fabulous.